Child, folks is coming down on my girl Whoop. And, they always try to find something or try to nitpick, Whoopi Goldberg, who is people that know I love her. She is an icon. She is smart. She's very careful about what she says. And today on The View, Whoopi Goldberg and Alyssa Griffin. Shout out to Sacramento, where I'm from. Alyssa's from there. But anyways, so folks is in an uproar because Whoopi compared, which was a very excellent comparison. It's sad that we have to discuss this, what's going on in Iran, but Whoopi is facing backlash after some pointed remarks about the U.S. and Iran this week. And she was comparing how the Iranian regime, how they treat women, how they treat, gay people there. They murder them or unalive them. I don't think I could use the M word, but they're very brutal in Iranian. And so Alyssa was like, saying that there, you know, um, you can't compare what happens to them. You don't know what it's like. And Whoopi is like, wait a minute. I don't think you meant to say that. So she was basically trying to talk about the Black experience and how even in 2025, a Black mother who has a son leaves out the house like any other child would leave out the house. And it's not guaranteed that we're going to come back or that child. You know what I'm saying? It's still brutal for Black Americans. Now, yes, Iranian, in Iran, you cannot, women can't vote and they have to cover themselves all the way down to the ground. Yes, there are some harsher, rules over there. But I understand what Whoopi was trying to explain. Let me read you a little bit, but I saw it today, this morning. Excuse me. On Wednesday morning, during the latest episode of The View, Goldberg appeared to claim that life in the U.S. is just as bad as it is in Iran during a heated clash with her co-host, Alyssa Griffin. The argument began as the panel, which also included co-host Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Sarah Haynes, debated the correct course of action the U.S. should take as the conflict between Israel and Iran continues to escalate in the Middle East. Let's just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings, Griffin, 36, said. They don't adhere to basic human rights or international law. Now, that's what Alyssa said. Okay? It was in that Goldberg 69, Whoopi said, pushback and suggested that the U.S. was no better than Iran when it came to the country's treatment of gay folks and Black people, which is very true. Let's not do that. This is what Whoopi said, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car, she charged, adding that the U.S. used to just keep hanging Black people. And they were doing that during the pandemic again. hanging folks, mysteriously hanging black men from trees in the South during Black Lives Matter era. You remember that? Let's talk about people in Congress who did not want to sign that law that stopped the hanging of black people. They wanted to still keep it for some reason. It was weird. It was a weird law that they could have just written it off. And I believe Senator Tim Scott didn't even want to sign it. He's a black man. We do a lot of weird stuff in this country when it comes to race relations, and we are brutal here. Let's be clear. We do have ways like Iran. Griffin quickly fired back and insisted that the modern day U.S. is nothing like Iran. The year 2025, she says, in the United States is nothing like if I stepped foot wearing this outfit in Tehran right now, she argued, referencing Iran's capital. And then Whoopi Goldberg said, not if you're black. Goldberg retorted after Griffin repeated her point that it's different to live in America in 2025 versus Iran. See, this is the part that really bothers me about the other folks. They're so quick to not have outrage about Black people in America and our plight and what we've experienced. We tend to really have selective outrage for other people. I'm sorry, I had to say it. I'm sure I'm going to get some people in the comments not agreeing. Please click the subscribe button and the bell. But it is so true. We could talk about the Holocaust and I mean outrage of anti-Semitic this and all that, which I'm outraged about that too. But there's never any really outrage when it comes to the disappearance of Native American children or young or women, or outrage against the killings by police officers, the hands of police officers murdering innocent Black mothers and fathers and just little boys taking a jog. How soon we forget. It's like it's tone deaf. You know, it's just I don't get it. You can walk into a person's apartment and pretend like you were sleepwalking and murder that Black person on their couch. Or say taser, 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 but you're not tasering. You're using a gun with bullets and you get to get off and you unalive somebody. In America, you can do that. So I totally get what Whoopi was saying. Guys, don't go to Tehran, Griffin responded. Do not. No one at this table can go to Tehran. Although Whoopi Goldberg conceded that the U.S. is the greatest country in the world, she also emphasized that there are still issues Black people face every day. But every day we are worried, the comedian said. Do we have to be worried about our kids? Are their kids going to get shot because they're running through somebody's neighborhood? They are not big deals, she added, and I don't mean to say they're not big deals to you, because that's not what I meant. Griffin then agreed that there are very real problems in the U.S., but there are also places much darker than America. You see how the dimming of this? That, like, oh, that's bad and all, but Iran is even worse. I mean, it's like it's both terrible, but you cannot negate what is happening in America when it comes to people of color. Even Asian Americans were being brutally for a minute there, not too long ago, and it's probably still happening. Nobody wants to diminish the very real problems we have in this country, she said, Alyssa. Shortly before Goldberg cut her off, that is no one's intent, but I think it's important we remember there are places much darker than this country and people who deserve rights. Oh, we don't deserve rights? Listen, not everybody feels that way. And that's what Whoopi said. Goldberg interrupted. Not everybody feels that way. Listen, I'm sorry. When you think about the fact that we got the vote in 1965, they don't have, and this is what Alyssa said, they don't have free and fair elections in Iran, Griffin then interjected. It's not even the same universe. We don't have fair elections here. I'm just saying, let's keep it a buck. Although Behar 82 attempted to cut in and calm both Goldberg and Griffin down, the pair continued their debate. Goldberg ultimately ended the argument by announcing that The View had to take a commercial break. The comedian faced major backlash on social media after the clip of her and Griffin's clash went viral. People said that she's delusional. One person tweeted regarding the Sister Act star's comments, while another critic commented utter insanity to suggest this. See, I'm not surprised. Everybody always wants to stick it to Whoopi when she's telling the truth. And then stupid people, which are probably Republicans. Why does she not leave then, since it's so awful? She didn't say that. She gave homage to America, but she stated the facts. Anyways, I'm not going to read any of the negative comments. Um, Whoopi, I stand with you. I understood exactly what you were saying. You were trying to explain, and she was not trying to diminish what is going on in Iran. Whoopi is not built that way. Whoopi is fair. Whoopi Goldberg is always fair. And she, like I said, she's very smart. And it was a really great comparison to the both countries, to America and Iran. Listen, watch that clip slowly, and please do not get on the bandwagon of being harsh or being overly critical of what Whoopi said or with Alyssa. Alyssa is misguided, and she's also a conservative. But shout out to you, Alyssa. My Northern California sister. But she's just misguided. But Whoopi, I love you. I love you, love you, love you. And I got it. I got it. All right, you guys. Bye.